Method Man says Redman was replaced on Power Book 2 because he refused to get the jab. What up, words? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Oh boy, it's spicy. This convo is spicy. The funny thing about it is not as spicy as it used to be, right? But it's still spicy. And I want to tell you why. Because one of my biggest videos was about DMX getting a COVID shot. And I ain't never seen so much hate in my life. When I put that video, that was one of my biggest, most successful videos. And I got more dislikes and hate about that video than I ever seen in my entire life, right? I'm not saying that this is going to happen with this one because this is a different, whole different era, whole different vibe. But when you talk about this jab, it gets some of y'all real worked up. It gets some of y'all real in y'all feelings. And it is what it is, bro. But Method Man's a real one. He's talking about his role on Power Book 2 with Tariq, and his character, Davis McClain, has a brother. The brother was played by Redman, I believe, maybe two. Is this the third season or the second season? I think this might be the third season. I know Redman played it in all of the last season, right? But in this season, it's a new dude popped up on the screen as Davis McClain's brother, aka Method Man's brother, and it wasn't Redman. And people noticed, and they were like, yo, where the hell Redman at? Nobody knew why. So Method Man ended up on the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne and DJ Envy, they asked him, why did y'all replace Redman on Breakfast Club? On Power. And he said, you want to know the real reason? Because he wouldn't get the jab. At least that's what I heard, is what he said. And he said him and Red never talked about it, but they have an understanding that whatever Red decided to do, Method Man gonna back him up. So he said he support him 100%. And it happens all the time when it comes to Hollywood, especially with that jab. He said it's been quite a few other people that have been replaced, and he's seen shakeups over the vaccine shot. He didn't say, if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember if he said he himself got it, but he must have got it if he's still working, right? But he's such an important role on that show. They would have kept him regardless, right? Now, I don't know how long ago they shot that they were still asking people to get the vaccine. That had to be a long time ago if they were still like, you need the vaccine shot. Because that was a small window. Like, literally, like, a lot of people was worked up about that. But I think that window of you have to get the shot to work, that wasn't even 12 months. That wasn't even a year. I don't think they was doing that for over a year. So I think that was a real short window, right? That was a real short window of, if you don't get the shot, you can't work here, right? So I don't know when they were filming that show for him to need a shot or what have you, but they said he needed a shot and he refused it, and a lot of guys refused it, right? Now, I do want to say this. We still don't know the effects of what happened with the shot, but at the same time, we don't know the effects of what didn't happen with the shot. So a lot of people formed a lot of opinions. They were uninformed. A lot of times it was a lot of conspiracy stuff and a lot of innuendo. And a lot of people would turn into religious quotes to make their cases. And it just was a lot of stuff going on. End of the day, we look back on the pandemic as it was overhyped and overblown. But when you was in it, and people was dying left and right, people's grandmothers, grandfathers, uncles, aunts, it was a lot of people dying. So everybody didn't know, we didn't know what was going on, right? And a lot of us were being told we had to get it to work. I know a lot of people who quit their jobs and went to do something else before they get that shot, right? And I don't blame you. It's all about what you feel is right for you to put in your body. Bottom line. And I'm not going to be one to say you should have did it or you shouldn't have did it, because it ain't none of my concern what you do. I'm not here to tell you nothing. And I wouldn't blame Redman if he did it for that reason or not. I would respect that. I respected everyone who didn't do it. I respect you if you did do it. It didn't matter to me one way or the other who did what, right? But when we look back, we're going to say we were forcing people to keep a job that they was in for 20. I know people that had a job for 20 years that left the job. We were forcing people to actually, if you want to keep this job, you need to get the shot. And now I realize that was not right. Well, I knew it then that wasn't right. But at the time, people needed something mentally to feel safer. And a lot of people wasn't feeling safe if they didn't have this shot. And if you was around them without the shot. Now it's like, why would you feel safer? Because the shot only protects the person who got the shot. It don't keep this person from giving you anything. And you still can get it, right? So it's a simple fact of the matter is if you're saying you got to get the shot, all of you got to get the shot. All you're saying is you got to protect yourself a little more because it's not protecting me from anything if you get the shot. But it got to a point where you couldn't go on a cruise. You couldn't go on a plane. You couldn't do this and that without showing. You couldn't go in a nightclub. You couldn't go on a restaurant. You had to show your shot record. We was carrying around records to go into the daggone restaurant. But in hindsight, we're going to say, well, why did I need a shot to go in a restaurant? All that proves is that I agree that shot is okay. Because it ain't stopping me from carrying it in this restaurant. It's not stopping me from killing somebody else with the daggone disease. Because I can have the shot and I might not know it. Because what it's supposed to be doing is suppressing it and making it so I won't get as sick, quote unquote. As sick. But that has nothing to do with you over here. So it kind of didn't make no sense. And when we look back now, it was a lot of fear and a lot of angst and a lot of anxiety that was kind of manufactured to make you feel that way when you really look back. And I hit a point, I was like, I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't care at all. I'm sick of like going back and forth with, oh, it's an outbreak. It's getting worse. It got to a point where listening to that didn't make any sense because it was coming regardless. So we're listening to it and today is, the numbers are crazy. After a while, it was like, it is what it is. Get the shot, don't get the shot, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, just move on. And that's where we at. And I feel like Redman took a stance. He didn't need he's always going to get work. He don't need to take that job. Yeah, they pay him, but they getting paid somewhere else. So if he chose to not put in his body, then that's kudos to him. That's his decision. And if you chose to get it, there's nothing wrong with that either. Make what's the best decision for your own body. Because if somebody's like, oh, you a dead man walking, you took that jab. Well, guess what? That's my decision, right? That's your decision. I didn't like how people's attacking each other. And we just constantly, we became more and more obsessed with trying to attack each other and show each other that you're wrong, I'm right. And that's why the society don't care about each other. That's why we have little to no empathy. Someone gets bit by a dog. Someone gets bit by a shark. Someone gets shot in the head. It's like, oh, you heard about somebody got shot. Then they move on. It's no empathy. We don't care about each other. And on that note, I'm going to leave it at that, man. Salute the Redman for taking a stance. Salute the Method Man for having his back. And I want to say salute to everybody who is staying true to themselves. And I'm going to leave it at that. CLBMG, every Wednesday night, we go live with the Clash Brothers podcast, 5 different social media platforms. We got the Mixdown podcast. All of this is on CLBMG Network. We got 4 more podcasts in development. We got music. We got videos. We got Don't Get Emotional podcast. We got a whole lot. We talk about everything on that channel. Go to CLBMG Network. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.